This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
Thanks for joining us here at 6 o'clock. I'm Nicole Griffin. Developing tonight, IMPD officers are investigating a deadly shooting at a West Side apartment complex. Our Graham Hunter is alive right outside that complex tonight. Graham, you talked to police. What can you tell us right now?
Well, Nicole, the shooting happened here at the Wildwood Village Apartments. Police were called out here around 3 this afternoon, and we now know that one person who police believe is an adult male is dead. I spoke to a woman who lives here this afternoon. She told me she could hear the sound of multiple gunshots over the music she was playing inside her apartment. Police are still working to determine if the person who was killed was a resident of the community. The glass of one front door of an apartment building in the crime scene is shattered. Police are still trying to figure out where the shooting happened, but the person who died was found outside. Officers were called out here by a resident telling them there was a shooting.
The caller also stated that a person was down at that location. Officers arrived and they did find one person down who is now deceased.
Police tell us at this point they have no information on who the shooter is, who is still on the loose tonight. Working for you from the West Side, Graham Hunter, RTV6.
All right, thank you, Graham. Well, it was hard to miss this afternoon, those clouds rolling into central Indiana, and you can see the low cloud cover that we have in place, and it's been trying to bring a couple of light showers to northern areas, but we still made it into the 40s. Most of us still sitting there. Kokomo, you're back into the upper 30s at this point, though. 43 in Bloomington and 42 in the Circle City. There's a look at that cloud cover, and you can see a few of those very light showers right now across Miami County. Back to the west, a little better area of some showers here in Illinois, but there's not a whole lot of moisture here in central Indiana for the system to work with. So as it makes its way into the western portion of the state overnight tonight, may see a couple of snowflakes or sprinkles out of this. Looks like that's going to be about it over the western portion of the state before things kind of taper off toward the east. Temperature wise, we're into the middle 30s with mostly cloudy skies at 10 o'clock. We'll take you hour by hour through your Monday in just a few minutes.
All right, Kyle, thank you. Colts fans are celebrating tonight. The team now back in the win column after beating the Jacksonville Jaguars in front of the home crowd today at Lucas Oil Stadium. Sports director Dave First is at the stadium now with a recap from the big win.
Well, this was like old-fashioned Colts football, that whenever times get tough, you play the Jacksonville Jaguars or really anybody in the AFC South, and you feel pretty good about it. Exactly what the doctor ordered here. After losing the last two, they get Jacksonville and win this one 33-13, and did it, well, the way they kind of began 2019 with running the ball. Running back Marlon Mack had 83 yards in the first half, including this two-spin, 13-yard touchdown that tied the game at 7. Defensively, Kenny Moore stepping up with really his best effort of the season, a sack and a huge breakup on third down in the second quarter. One of a couple 3-and-outs for Jacksonville in the first half. Jacoby Brissett with some really good play in the third quarter. Found Marcus Johnson in the end zone on a 4th down play. And then the next drive in the third quarter, scrambles in for a 5-yard score. Again, old-fashioned Colts football in the AFC South as the good guys win 33-13.
Man, it's big overall. Getting that confidence back in us, actually going out there doing it, it just helped the confidence of us overall, and just going right there and running the ball. It's good.
Not one, but 2 spins on that touchdown?
Man, Rob helps us every day with that, man. So we practice it every day, and I just had to put it to use right there.
Just how hard was that ball that Brissett threw to you in the end zone?
That was a rib shot. That was a rib shot now. But I was prepared for it. One thing that we always joke about with Brissett is his mechanics are so good, and the ball is always a perfect spiral, and it gets up on you quick.
How badly did you guys need this today?
We need everyone we can get right now. We fighting every week, want to know. That's our motto. That's what we've been going by each week. So, I mean, we really don't have no pressure now like that. We want to go out there and play our game, play our way. So, I mean, we definitely needed this one, though, for sure.
Now, the highlight of the game, which in the end really wasn't, it was the cake stand celebration by offensive lineman Quentin Nelson after he ran in a 1-yard touchdown. Now, the TD was reversed upon further review, but the memory of that celebration, well, it'll last forever.
Just a lot of deep reflecting, like, man, I wish I had that play back and just like got lower or moved my feet more to get in and pushed in. But, you know, we executed the celebration. That's what I'm really happy about.
Couple more takeaways from this game. How about the running game? Mack finished with 109 rushing yards. Jonathan Williams with 116 rushing yards. First time in a long, long time this franchise has had 2 100-yard rushers. All told, best running game for this franchise in 13 years. Adam Vinatieri, perfect. 1 field goal, 4 PATs. And by the way, Houston lost today. So both teams are now tied for first place in the AFC South. And both teams play each other Thursday night in Houston. At the stadium, Dave First, RTV6 Sports.
All right, Dave, thank you. Well, the loss of a Fishers K-9 officer killed in the line of duty has hit the community very hard. But police officials say scammers may try to take advantage of that collective grief. They say beware of people reaching out for donations on behalf of the department in honor of K-9 Officer Harley. If someone comes to your door or calls you out of the blue, be cautious. The department says it will only take donations through its website, no phone calls, no door-to-door visits. Harley was shot and killed early Wednesday morning while assisting with a manhunt. Tonight, families from 4 different apartments are displaced after a fire in Lawrence this afternoon. Firefighters with Lawrence and Indianapolis Fire were called out to the Mason Gardens apartment complex near 42nd and Post Road around 12:15. Crews were able to quickly put the fire out and no one was injured. But tonight they are now trying to figure out what caused the fire. You may remember this is the same apartment complex where a large fire left 3 firefighters injured just last month. The apartment complex is helping the families who are impacted after today's fire. More than 12,000 teachers and educators will be at the State House Tuesday rallying for better education laws. Across the state, more than 130 school districts have canceled classes or are having an e-learning day Tuesday. RTV6 is working for you, finding out what options parents have for childcare on Tuesday. The YMCA is holding day camps across the city in support of teachers at 8 different locations. Day camp coordinators keep track of school schedules in their area and provide camp whenever there's a planned day off.
And then anytime that there's inclement weather, like a snow day or something unexpected, like the Red for Ed rally coming up on the 19th, we'll have camp for families on those days. A lot of families really love that we offer this. It just provides them peace of mind to know that when something unexpected happens, we'll be there to take over for them and help them out.
We have a full list of YMCA camp locations on Red for Ed Day right now on the RTV6 News app. They are not held at every YMCA location. Some are held at local schools, so make sure to check that list before Tuesday. Camp is only for kids ages 5 through 12. The Boys and Girls Club of Indianapolis is also opening clubs during school hours on Red for Ed Action Day. 5 clubs will open, including the Finish Line Boys and Girls Club, Keenan Stahl Boys and Girls Club, and the Lily Boys and Girls Club. They will each be open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Snacks and meals will be provided at all 5 locations. This week, the community will be able to continue supporting a Plainfield family as their 12-year-old son takes on one of the biggest battles of his life. We told you about Jack Moon, a Plainfield student who is battling type B non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. The Plainfield Police Department is selling window clings all month long to help with his medical expenses. But this Wednesday, there is another chance to help while also getting a sweet treat. Jack's Donuts of Plainfield on Stafford Road has agreed to donate 10% of all sales Wednesday. Plainfield police officers will be on site selling the window clings, t-shirts, and bracelets as well. The fundraiser runs from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. A vote set for Monday at the next Franklin City Council meeting could pave the way for hundreds of new jobs in that community. We first told you last week battery company Energizer wants to open a distribution center near State Road 44 in I-65. They would move into a large building that already exists to package batteries and distribute most Energizer products. More than 400 workers would be hired by 2022. The City Council meets Monday night to vote on approving a tax break that would allow the plan to move forward. Today, shoppers at the Indiana State Fairgrounds spent the day helping an organization that impacts the lives of children and families right here in our community. The 2019 Junior League Holiday Mart is wrapping up at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. It's the signature fundraiser hosted every year by the Junior League of Indianapolis, a group for women that promotes volunteerism and leadership training. Over the years, Junior League has helped with more than 163 community projects through volunteer work and have donated or granted $4 million to the community. Holiday Mart is a multi-day holiday shopping event, and this year marks the 49th year for the annual event.
The thing that makes our show different than other shows is that we are shopping for a cause. So all of the money that is raised from ticket sales here at the Mart goes back into the Indianapolis community.
Last year, Junior League gave $150,000 in grants back to Central Indiana from the Holiday Mart. Next year is the 50th year for the event. Coming up on the news at 6, we're getting more details on closed-door testimony in the impeachment investigation, including what a member of Vice President Pence's staff told lawmakers. Kyle.
And I think I know the answer, but are you ready for temperatures back in the 50s? We're going to detail a brief warm-up coming our way and the wet weather that comes along with it. You're watching RTV6 News at 6.
May occur. Ask your dermatologist about Cosentix.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
Now to the latest on the impeachment investigation. More public hearings are set for this week. Meanwhile, transcripts of some of the closed-door testimony have been released. More now from ABC's David Wright.
As the House impeachment inquiry gets set for more public hearings this week, the Democrats show no sign of letting up.
The President of the United States used taxpayer-funded military assistance to pressure a foreign leader to help him in his re-election campaign. That is solicitation of a bribe, and that is an impeachable offense listed in the Constitution.
Democrat Sean Maloney of New York suggested the key witness this week is the U.S. ambassador to the European Union, Gordon Sondland. Republicans are pushing back hard.
The evidence is crumbling. I think the Democrats know they're in trouble on this. The longer these hearings goes on, I think the less the American people are going to support impeachment.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says the president will have every opportunity to present his case.
If he has information that is exculpatory, we look forward to seeing it.
The committee also released transcripts from Jennifer Williams, a member of Vice President Pence's staff. She was on that July phone call in which President Trump brought up investigating the Bidens and the 2016 election. She testified she remembers a mention of Burisma, the Ukrainian energy company where Hunter Biden served on the board, but the call summary released by the Trump White House makes no mention of Burisma. The committee also released a transcript from Tim Morrison's deposition. He's a former National Security Council staff member who described a shadow foreign policy. Quote, there was the normal process where decision-making went through the duly appointed personnel, and there was this second track, chiefly led by Ambassador Sondland, where Rudy Giuliani's name would come up. David Wright, ABC News, Washington.
Well, throughout our Sunday, we pulled that blanket of cloud cover back over central Indiana, and we've had a couple of those very light showers around the Peru area. There's that batch of rain, which we'll keep an eye on here back in Illinois. It would take another 4 or 5 hours for it to reach the state line here. But again, it's expected to really kind of fall apart as it gets closer to central Indiana. Temperature-wise, we're pretty much all in the lower 40s right now. 42 in downtown, 40 in Greencastle, and Connorsville coming in a little bit warmer at 46 degrees. Now, because of the clouds in place, we're going to replace the 20s with lower 30s in most spots. 31 in Danville and Noblesville, and you'll start off your Monday at an even 30 degrees in the Columbus area, again, with those cloudy skies. Here's TrueCast, 8:30 in the morning. A stray rain shower, snowflake, really looks like that'll be about it. But as we go through the day into your lunch hour, more clouds, and even for the evening, we are going to be pretty much socked into that cloud cover throughout the day here. So that's going to keep those temperatures from really rising a whole lot. We'll see those numbers getting back into the lower to middle 40s, so we'll continue this cooler than average stretch of weather that we've got going, and a little bit more of a breeze, but still manageable, under 10 miles per hour. Those temperatures in the upper 30s by 6 o'clock in the evening. So yes, we should be in the lower 50s tomorrow. We will settle for the lower 40s. 43 in the city, 44 in Columbus, and 40 degrees in Lafayette. Again, the wind should be fairly light for us. And as we look ahead to Tuesday, once again, mostly cloudy skies, 45. Another weak weather system going to be coming our way, and that brings about a 20% chance for mainly some rain showers. This is a look at TrueCast, 5:30 Tuesday morning. We've got the clouds. There you can see that kind of fills in with a little more in the way of some wet weather. Now, if the model trend continues this way, we may need to bump up those chances a little bit more, and then it will move out. You might say it's a little early, but if you are looking for some time to get out there and put up the Christmas lights, I would say Wednesday is the day to get out there and do it, because it's been so chilly here. We are going to warm things up, and it's going to be dry on Wednesday with an afternoon high of 54 degrees. It's still going to be mild on Thursday, but with 56, we're going to have some pretty widespread rain across the area. 7-day planning forecast, put it all together for you, and we've got that isolated chance for a shower on Tuesday. Otherwise, we're dry through Wednesday as temperatures warm up, and it's only about 48 hours that we're going to enjoy those highs where they should be, or a little above average, because by Friday, 42 will be the afternoon high. Looks like we'll be dry there. Chance for some rain showers on Saturday, and we're cool. Highs in the 40s.
Overall, not a bad week ahead.
Not too bad, not too active. Thursday, our best chance for rain.
Okay, Kyle, thank you. Coming up, lowering drug costs is a priority most Americans can get behind. How those costs are forcing families to make tough decisions. Prescription drug prices are a top election issue. Voters from both parties agree that lowering prices should be a top priority for lawmakers. Chloe Nordquist found out skyrocketing costs for life-saving drugs can lead to tough choices.
When I was diagnosed in 1972, insulin cost about $1 a bottle. Because there I am with a bottle of insulin and a syringe.
The price tag now, about $350. Insulin helps diabetics manage their blood sugar.
So this is my current blood sugar. My name is Gail DeVore. I have had type 1 diabetes for almost 48 years.
Her childhood doctor told her she wouldn't live past 40. She recently turned 59. Diabetics often have to buy multiple bottles of insulin at a time. For someone with a high deductible prescription plan, that comes right out of their pocket.
To afford that, which just happens to be more than my own mortgage, it's unreachable for some families.
The CDC estimates around 30 million people in America have diabetes, almost 10% of the population. The national price of insulin increased from around $340 in 2012 to $666 in 2016.
It's the most expensive part of our lives. My name's Michelle Fenner.
Her 17-year-old son was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes 9 years ago.
It impacts our ability to save for retirement. We've had to pull money out of savings.
Insulin isn't the only medication with a rising price tag. Michelle was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease just a year ago. Her medication alone can cost over $2,000 a month.
As I'm trying to keep my son alive and pay for all his costs, am I going to be able to afford my medication?
Overall, drug prices have continued to increase. My name is Gina Moore. I'm currently the president of Colorado Pharmacists Society. We're all touched personally by the cost of medications. My husband, as an example, was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease a couple months ago.
Individual spending on prescription medication increased from around $251 billion in 2012 to $341 billion in 2016.
It's not necessarily a new problem, but it's really one that has been magnified over the course of the last decade.
Income for pharmacies from retail prescription drugs went up from nearly $31 billion in 2012 to $77 billion in 2016.
Don't hesitate to ask your pharmacist if they know of less expensive alternatives.
But for diabetics, there are no alternative drugs.
It's the simple little tiny hormone that every body should make. And without it, we die.
How can you plan your life when you literally have no idea how much something is going to cost?
I'm Chloe Nordquist.
Visit takeactionpv.com.
Looks like Hoosiers really like the odds when it comes to sports betting. The Indiana Gaming Commission says the second month of legal sports betting in Indiana saw nearly $92 million in wagers. That's almost 3 times as much money wagered in September when sports betting became legal. Football accounted for the most betting on an individual sport at more than $41 million. The state also brought in nearly $1 million in tax revenue last month. Very popular, Kyle.
It is, and we are betting on a warm-up. We have been waiting patiently for it, and it's in the 7-day forecast, but we still have to wait a couple more days here. Monday and Tuesday, we're going to have quite a few clouds around, possibly a few showers there on Tuesday with highs in the 40s. Then we get into the middle 50s on Wednesday and Thursday, but Thursday is when you're going to need that umbrella, some fairly widespread rain, and then it cools down into next weekend.
All right, Kyle, thank you, and thank you for joining us. We'll see you right back here at 11 o'clock. Have a great night.